It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
The Speed Station welcomes you to Daytona International Speedway for the running of the NextEra NR2003 In the race analysis, today's event will take place over the course of 60 laps around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Stage number 1 will be ending on lap number 15 and stage 2 on lap 30. So you will have to make, likely, one green flag pit stop in the final stage unless we get 2 very well-timed cautions. And remember that the starting lineup for today's event was determined by the Kinetic Gasket Heats last week. And speaking of the Kinetic Gasket Heats, Stephen Parsons, who won the pole in single truck qualifying for the NextEra NR2003, wrecked out actually after the checkered flag in Kinetic Gasket Heat number 1, blew a tire after the checkered flag flew. The 09 team had to switch to a backup truck, so Parsons will be starting shotgun on the field in 39th spot, the last truck on the inside row. Earlier this morning, Richard Childress Racing's Tyler Reddick was out testing the Next Gen Cup car, which will debut with full-time NASCAR Cup Series competition at the start of the 2022 season, phasing out the old Gen 6 car that we've been running since 2013. But there's been a little bit of interesting concern surrounding this Next Gen car. Just take a listen to it as it passes the cameras right here. Hear how tacked out the engine is? So they're testing new equipment on this car. And in a single car run, it really never got into the power band well enough to get up into 4th gear. In fact, this is Reddick running the car around in 3rd gear. So there's a little bit of concerns about whether or not they can actually go fast enough in a single car run with their restricted superspeedway package the way it's currently set up. But they're hoping that once we get multi-car superspeedway testing going, that this might not be as much of a problem. Once the cars start cutting the hole in the air, they might be able to get these cars up to 4th gear, because it's a little bit troublesome to have to run around Daytona in 3rd gear. And remember that these cars have 5 gears, because the Next Gen car runs a 5-speed sequential transmission. So it's a little strange that Reddick can only get the car up to 3rd gear, but I guess they're just testing different types of equipment and restrictions on the car. The current restricted package that we run on the Gen 6 car was what they run on this Next Gen car, and really didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to, with the way the aero package and the new engine equipment that they were testing was working out. And you might find it a little bit interesting that Reddick did not make the Daytona 500 in his number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing. But this whole deal of getting him to test NASCAR's spec Next Gen car was set up about a month before the 500 and All Speed Week started. So this was already set in stone. Reddick is still here, just in case they need to do some extra testing on the package after the Daytona 500 on Sunday. However, he will not be competing in the 500 because, in fact, none of the Childress cars even made the big show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, once again on the oval. And we are finally in the first weekend of the NASCAR National Series points races. No more qualifying races, no more bush clashes. It has all led up to this. The first weekend of points races kicking off with the NextEra NR2003 right here at Daytona for the Camping World Truck Series. It's definitely going to be a great race. 40 trucks in the field, 60 showed up to make it, 20 went home. Stephen Parsons won the pole already. Unfortunately, he'll have to drop to 39th to switch into a backup truck. But here we are, back at Daytona on the high banks. Like we've been talking about all throughout Speed Weeks, it's perfectly legal to dip below that yellow line to try to advance your position. However, it is certainly not recommended. We saw that in the Cup Series heat races. We saw it in the Camping World Truck Series heat races. Somebody tries to go way down on the bottom entering turn number 1, slides up in front of the field and creates a big old mess. Hopefully we'll be seeing much less of that here today. And just trying to run the bottom line right here, trying to set, I guess what you'd call a qualifying lap. Very smooth surface, makes for a comfortable ride. And NASCAR does allow the Camping World Truck Series drivers 2 lock bumpers, which has not been legal for several years. But certainly expect a lot of pushing and shoving today. You know, it's pretty much the biggest race the Camping World Truck Series season. And being able to lock bumpers means we're going to see quite a lot of aggressive moves made throughout the course of today's race. Anyway, here is a flying lap around Daytona International Speedway. Our time was a 50.446. Not half bad. Remember, keep that foot on the floorboard and try not to make a move below that yellow line. So the starting lineup for today's NextEra Energy 250 was determined through 2 sessions ran last week, those being single truck qualifying and the 2 Cometic gasket heats. And the front row in single truck qualifying was swept by Stefan Parsons and Carson Hocevar. But Parsons ended up crashing in turn number 3 after the checkered flag had already fallen in heat number 1. So that meant that Parsons and Phoenix Racing had to switch to their backup truck, and they will be starting dead last on the inside row, which would be 39th position. And I have to mention that both rows are independent of each other for only this weekend. So that means because Parsons has to drop to the rear, he does not drop to 40th place, which is dead last in the field. He drops to 39th place, which is second to last, but the last place truck on the inside row. A little convoluted, but it does move every single truck on the inside row up 1 position, which is why Brett Holmes will be starting inside row in first place. Second place will be Carson Hocevar, who qualified outside pole for the NextEra Energy 250. He did not need to worry about the heats, and he actually kept his truck together in heat number 2, which is why he retained his starting position from single truck qualifying. Ty Majeski, because of his second place finish in heat 1, will be starting 3rd. Haley Deegan, the winner of heat number 2, will be starting in 4th place. Then Norm Benning with a great starting position in 5th. Corey Roper 6th. Sheldon Creed, the defending champion, in 7th. Logan Misaraka in 8th. Casey Mears, the rookie, believe it or not, as he has never even made a Camping World Truck Series race before in his career, starting in 9th. Austin Theriault rounds out your top 10 for the newly refounded Brad Keselowski Racing. And now let's get down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Nice service, be there at the end. It's a long race. We just got to stay in contention, no mistakes. That's the big key, no mistakes today. We get up there, we get in the top 10, we ride. That's what we got to do today.
And there's the green flag for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. Holmes and Hocevar side by side on the start. 55 truck already trying to make a look down to the inside. Here comes Majeski going for the race lead. Majeski getting a bit of a push from Norm Benning, is now out front. Most recent Snowball Derby winner. Down the very long back straightaway, the 55 truck getting a bit of a push from the 6. Benning trying to make a look down to the inside. Here comes defending champion Sheldon Creed. 4-wide move by Drew Dollar already. Creed up into second. Dollar trying to take up 3rd spot. Very aggressive move down on the inside. Michael Self is pitting. Potentially a tire puncture already on the 25 truck of Self, as Majeski leads lap number 1 here at Daytona. Down to the inside, here comes Sheldon Creed. Creed is now your race leader. Second spot is being taken up by Drew Dollar. Down the inside line, here comes the 75 truck of Parker Kligerman. That's Joe Nemechek in the 8 truck, trying to make it 4 wide for second. Nemechek already been involved in some controversy over the course of speed weeks after dumping Ryan Preece at the end of the Eliminator. after frustrations from a on-track incident in heat number 2 on the Cup Series side. Nemechek still trying to make it work. Now he's up into second. Creed currently holds the lead. Michael Self coming up off pit road. The leaders are certainly going to have to take evasive action for that 25 truck slow down on the inside. Nemechek up to the outside line. Looks like Legassi might be blocked down on the bottom. Inside line gets stalled out by the 25 truck of Michael Self. Down the long backstretch. Here comes the 92 truck of Austin Theriault to the inside of Nemechek. Theriault is now your race leader. The back of the field still keeping it together after being blocked by the 25 of Self. Down to the start-finish line, Theriault currently holds the top spot. Haley Deegan trying to make it 4 wide for around 5th place. Now back down to 3 wide. Here comes Deegan with a big run from the 60 truck of Casey Mears. Now down to the inside of Austin Theriault. Deegan is now out front, down the backstretch. Here comes the 60 truck of Casey Mears down on the inside, getting a bit of a run from the 6 truck of Norm Benning. Not too much help down on the inside line. The 92 holds the lead by just a fender. Here comes the 60 down on the bottom. Up onto the front stretch. Currently your race leader is Casey Mears. He tried to block the outside line, but now we're going 3 wide for the top spot. Norm Benning with some help down on the bottom. Here comes Benning with a push from Drew Dollar. Benning is now out front in the 6 truck. 51 up in the second. Down the backstretch, the 6 truck moved up into the middle. Here comes the 51 of Drew Dollar all the way on the bottom. Drew Dollar, the ARCA Menard Series winner at Talladega last season, is now out front for KBM. Down the inside line, here comes the 23 truck of Brett Holmes. At the stripe, it was the 51 of Drew Dollar to lead the lap. Entering turn number 1, looks like the 97 of Jesse Little trying to make it 3 wide. Little down on the bottom. Now out front, Corey Roper up into second. Roper finished second in his heat race. Now trying to take the race lead down the backstretch. Misaraka trying to take up second spot. Getting that run from Dawson Cram, now trying to go on the inside of Roper. Misaraka and the number 58 truck for Lira Motorsports is now out front. All 40 trucks are in this lead draft. Here comes the 41 truck of Dawson Cram down on the inside line. It looks like Cram's going to get it. Entering turn 1, getting the push from Corbin Forrester. Trevor Bain, the 2011 Daytona 500 winner. Up in the 3rd spot, here comes Forrester down on the bottom. Bain trying to make it work. Going for the pass underneath the 7 truck. Bain has some help in line behind him, that being the 45 truck of Brett Moffitt, 2 Nice Motorsports teammates. Now 1-2. Chris Wright, the number 02 truck for Young's Motorsports, up in to the 3rd place. Nice Motorsports battle down to the start-finish line. Bain does not have any help. At the stripe, it was Moffitt to lead the lap. Entering turn 1, here comes Chris Wright on the bottom. Chris Wright is now out front. Grant Enfinger, the defending winner here at Daytona, all over the tailgate of that 02 truck. Enfinger getting the push from Timothy Peters. Down the backstretch. Enfinger gets shoved out front by Peters. Barnhill up into second. Onto the front straightaway. Enfinger currently holds the lead as he moves up to the outside line to block Peters. Here comes Barnhill down on the bottom. Side by side. It is going to be Barnhill at the moment holding the advantage. Here comes Parsons down on the inside. The pole sitter who had to drop to the back. because they had to switch to a backup truck after being involved in an incident in heat number 1 from 39th to 1st in just 9 laps. Here comes Ty Dillon, though, in the number 31 truck for Germain Racing. Down the back straightaway, getting a push from the KBM number 46 of Chandler Smith. I see a bit of 4-wide racing near the back. I believe they might have gotten that settled already. Ty Dillon currently out front. Here comes the 46 truck down on the inside. At the stripe, it was a little bit too close to call. Scoring gives it to the 31. Smith holds it for the moment. Now here comes Justin Haley, the newest superspeedway ace. Down on the inside line, getting a push from Ryan Truex. Down the backstretch, the 24 truck currently holds the race lead. Here comes the 33 of Ryan Truex down on the bottom. Truex moved into the middle. Here comes the 00. Keith McGee from Alaska is now out front here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Exiting turn number 4. Second place currently held by Tanner Gray. They're going 3 wide down to the stripe. It was McGee to lead the lap. Looks like Tanner Gray's going to take it entering turn 1. Just 5 laps to go in stage 1 here at Daytona. Gray currently your leader. Spencer Davis running in second. Now Davis to the inside. There's the lap truck of Michael Self in line. Davis on the bottom, getting a push from a fellow Toyota. Looks like the 15 truck is going to clear the field. Tanner Gray still currently your race leader. Onto the front stretch. Gray trying to defend the lines as the outside line building a pretty big run. Middle line starting to build some momentum with the 33 and 34 trucks. Ryan Truex up to the tailgate of the 15. Down the backstretch, the outside line starting to fall back. Ryan Truex now moving up to the top. Same with Tanner Gray. Down the backstretch, Gray currently has the advantage. Barnhill building momentum down on the bottom. Currently, that 15 truck starting to put a couple truck length separation on the field. Definitely showing the Ford dominance early. That 7 truck, though, Corbin Forrester getting the run down to the inside. 15 truck does not have very much help. Looks like Forrester's going to take it. Corbin Forrester now out front. Misaraka up into second. Down the backstretch. The 7 truck currently holds the top spot. Spencer Davis on the inside line trying to close the gap up to the 58. Can't quite do it. Forrester re-clears the field. But now the 58 truck trying to force that 7 off the bottom. Coming back to the start-finish line, we're only going to have 2 laps to go in stage 1. Misaraka making the run work down on the inside line. 7 truck does not really have any willing pushers. Casey Mears trying to make it work through the middle. Misaraka out to the race lead. The 11 truck of Spencer Davis up into second. Davis trying to move that 58 truck up off the bottom. 58 up to the middle line to block, now up to the outside. Hoping to get a run off that 7 truck of Forrester. I tell you what, that 11 truck of Spencer Davis just cannot lead the lanes. As here comes the 60 of Casey Mears through the middle. Down to the stripe. They're going to be side by side for the top spot. As now we see the white flag in stage 1. Mears down to the bottom, holding the race lead, trying to defend the lanes. You might notice that Mears has rookie stripes. That's merely because this is his first Camping World Truck Series start. He has plenty of experience in practically every division and is a Cup Series winner of the Coke 600. Down the backstretch, the 60 truck is your leader. The 1 truck of Haley Deegan up into second. Mears, still your leader. Hailie Deegan up into second spot, currently third position being taken by Scott Lagasse Jr. The field fanning out for the final few spots. Coming to the stage-ending caution. Oh, and they wreck in the back. The big one. The Zero truck upside down. Mears is your race leader, as a big mess has occurred on the front stretch. A absolutely huge crash. Racing back to the start-finish line to end stage number 1. Mears is the stage winner above Hailie Deegan, Scott Lagasse Jr., Logan Misaraka, and Ty Majeski. So there you see defending champion Sheldon Creed make contact with the 22 truck. That forces Austin Wayne Self wide. Bain makes a little bit of contact with Self. That turns down the 3 truck. Anderson gets put out of line. Then the 0 truck gets turned upside down on the front stretch, rolling violently off the hood of the 00, then gets on top of Bain and flips over. Turns the 44 truck of Bain upside down as the 0 truck continues to roll down the front stretch. And here is the onboard with Tate Fogelman. Rides on top of the 44 truck of Bain. And Fogelman is officially out of the race with heavy damage. But fortunately, everyone involved in that incident walked away uninjured. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by RFJ, the official home of the RFJ AI series. By Knife Friend 725, the brains behind Project Retroval. And by Anthony's Online Simulation League. And so we have some pit strategy emerging. Most of the front runners are hitting pit road this time by Mears and the rest of the leaders. But Ty Majeski, Carson Hocevar, Spencer Davis, Grant Enfinger, and I believe that was Jesse Little, have decided to stay out. And the first truck off pit road is Hailie Deegan getting out in front of Logan Misaraka. They've had 2 extremely fast F-150s this weekend. Then the 60 truck of Casey Mears, the 7 of Corbin Forrester, and the 03 for On Point Motorsports of Scott Lagasse Jr. And now 2 of the trucks that stayed out are hitting pit road, those being Jesse Little and Spencer Davis. So still some interesting pit strategy as the 55, 42, 98, and 92 have yet to come down pit road. They're certainly trying to extend their fuel number. The only real concern is, however, what we saw in practice was that during a long run, you can only run about 20 laps on gas before having to pit. And these guys are trying to run right about 20 laps. So if we go back green, they're going to be certainly close on their fuel number. They're at least going to lose a lot of time by having to immediately come down pit road. So currently, Joe Nemechek, Tate Fogelman, Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and Keith McGee are out of the NextEra Energy 250. And now 2 more of the trucks that were extending their fuel numbers are coming down pit road, those being Hocevar and the 55 of Ty Majeski. So that means that Enfinger and Terrio still have yet to come down pit road. And the pace truck pulls in. Enfinger into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out for stage number 2. Remember, these top 2 trucks are very close on their fuel numbers. On the restart, here comes the 92 truck down to the inside. Enfinger looks like he might be out. He's slowing up very quickly. Deegan stuck in line behind. 4-wide move. Enfinger is out of gas. Fortunately, the field manages to avoid him. Down the backstretch, the 92 truck still under full power. Misaraka making the move down to the inside. And the 58 truck for Lyra Motorsports. Logan Misaraka is now out front at Daytona. The 7 truck of Corbin Forrester has taken up second spot. Single file for the top few positions. Here comes the 03 truck down on the inside, that being Scott Lagasse Jr. Forrester is your leader at the line. Here comes Lagasse getting the run with the push from Ty Gibbs. 03 truck still out front. On Point Motorsports' only entry in this race. The 30 truck of Brennan Poole failed to make it. And now here comes the 18 truck of Gibbs down the inside with a push from a fellow Toyota, Justin Carroll. Enfinger still trying to coast it back. Stuck in between the apron and the racetrack on the exit of 4. Here comes the pack at full speed. The 91 of Carroll still trying to make the look down to the inside. There is Enfinger. Looks like that 98 is going to be able to coast back to the pit road. 3 wide at the line. It was Gibbs to lead the lap. Here comes Tanner Gray down on the bottom. Gray now out front. The straight liner, as Phil Parsons calls him. Corey Roper, who finished second in heat number 2 on the tailgate of the 15. Now to the inside. Down the backstretch, stage 1 winner. Casey Mears all over the tailgate of the 04. Corey Roper, in his self-owned entry, still holds the lead above a Cup Series winner, that being Casey Mears. Mears down on the inside. Casey Mears currently holds the lead at the stripe. 4 wide moment. We got another truck trying to enter turn 1 on the apron. This has not worked as of yet. Makes contact with the 09 truck. Sends Stephen Parsons around. Huge hit for the 87. Drew Dollar tries to thread the needle. Makes hard contact with the 09. The yellow flag is back out. And our pole sitter is out of it. Misaraka has taken the lead once again down the backstretch. The 60 truck of Casey Mears running in line. Here comes Mears down to the inside. Down to the start-finish line, it is Casey Mears, your leader at Daytona. Misaraka in second. The 34 of Barnhill third, Gray in fourth, and Brett Moffitt in fifth. This move has not worked out exactly 3 times now if you count all of Speed Weeks. Here comes the 26 of Chase Purdy down on the inside line. Tries to remerge with the pack, slides up into the 09 truck of Parsons, as well as the 91, forces the 92 and 87 trucks up into the outside wall. And then really nowhere to go at this point. Deegan manages to just barely skirt by on the inside line. Anderson just barely gets clipped. Then here comes the 23 truck. Huge hit into the 87. And then Drew Dollar has nowhere to go. He's trying to avoid the incident. Makes hard contact with the rear end of the 09 truck. Here comes the 55 of Majeski into the 51. Quite a lot of damage on that 55. And several competitive trucks out of the race. And let's go on board with Haley Deegan. Just barely misses the incident. Very similar to Cody Ware in the heats. And Casey Mears is now leading every single lead lap truck down pit road. And we have a blown engine on the number 25 truck of Michael Self. Believe it or not, he wasn't even involved in the incident. Just blew up under caution. And it's a close race for the lead coming out of the pits. It's Misaraka to get it. The 58 truck, first truck off pit road above Barnhill, Gray, Mears, and Cram. So the trucks that are officially out of the race after that incident are Stephen Parsons, Timothy Peters, Brett Holmes, Drew Dollar, Ty Majeski, and Austin Terrio, all very strong race trucks. You also see that Michael Self is now out of the race, but that was surprisingly due to an unrelated engine failure. We could be potentially being set up for an upset winner here at Daytona. So we're going to go green with just 3 laps to go in stage number 2. Pace car is in. And green flag. 34 truck gets a pretty good jump on the 58. Already up to the tailgate. Now down to the inside. Here comes Barnhill going for the race lead with a push from Tanner Gray. Bryant Barnhill is now out front. Gray up into second. There you see Mears cutting down to the inside line. Misaraka being hung out of line right now with almost no help on the outside line. Here comes Casey Mears down to the bottom. Mears now side by side with the 34 of Barnhill. Exiting turn number 4. Mears currently your leader. Here comes Ty Gibbs down on the inside, getting a push from Brett Moffitt. At the stripe, it was a little bit too close to call. Scoring gives it to the 60. Gibbs currently your leader. 2018 Series champion. Brett Moffitt down on the inside line, running in second. Also another champion in line behind him. That is our defending champion of Sheldon Creed. Here comes the 45 truck. Moves Gibbs up off the bottom line. The 45 of Brett Moffitt side by side with the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Exiting turn number 4. There you saw the 33 truck of Ryan Truex does not have a rear bumper cover. It's still running in the lead draft. Brett Moffitt, currently your leader, now white flag in stage number 2. Side by side for the top spot. Sheldon Creed took it at the line. Actually, scoring gives it to the 45, so it must have been just a few thousandths of a second separating those two. But here comes Ty Dillon down on the bottom. Dillon getting the push from the 04 truck of Corey Roper. Roper now trying to make it work with a push coming from the 42. Down the backstretch, side by side for the top spot. The field now fanning out. Groups of 3 wide. 04 truck barely has any help down on the inside line. 4 wide move being made by Spencer Davis. Side by side between Roper and Ty Dillon. We got a truck spinning at the line. It is Ty Dillon to win stage number 2. That means Germain Racing has swept the 2 stages with their 2 drivers in their returning race to the Camping World Truck Series. An impressive run by a team getting back up on their feet after having to downgrade their Cup Series operation from full-time to part-time, returning to the Truck Series where they have won 2 championships. Things are already going great for that organization. Roper in second. Hocevar third. The other Germain truck, the 60 of Casey Mears in fourth, and the 2 truck of Sheldon Creed round out the top 5. So there you see Spencer Davis trying to make a 4-wide move down on the inside line of Parker Kligerman. Clips Kligerman running back to the start-finish line, sending that 75 truck around. Gets it corrected just for a moment, down into the inside wall, and gets the truck up into the grass and spins around. Right up in front of the field. Does anyone clip him? Just barely. The 02 truck of Chris Wright. Wright is now out of the race with heavy front-end damage, as well as contact with the 26 of Purdy. Looks like Purdy's out of the race as well. The field quickly thinning out. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by RFJ, the official home of the RFJ AI series. By Knife Friend 725, the brains behind Project Retroval. And by Anthony's Online Simulation League. And once again, here comes all the lead lap trucks down pit road. Well, this is a little confusing. Kligerman got the 75 truck off pit road, but it appears to be coming to a halt right on the front stretch. That means the 75 truck stalled off pit road. They're going to have to push that truck back. And the first truck out of the pits is actually the 42 of Hocevar, getting out in front of the 04 truck of Roper, the 31 of Ty Dillon, the 45 of Brett Moffitt, and the 2 of Sheldon Creed. And Benning has been pit maneuvered coming off of pit road. The 97 truck of Little made some contact with the 6. Benning most likely going to have to come back down pit road for a second time. Probably same situation with the 97. Well, here's what happened. The 11 truck's running slightly off pace to try to get back in line. The 6 truck didn't notice him slowing down and rams into the rear end of the 11. Then the 97 truck makes contact as well, so somewhat significant damage on both Benning and Little's trucks. So Jesse Little will be staying out on the racetrack, but Norm Benning is coming down pit road to assess the front end damage on that 6 truck. So after that incident that brought out the initial caution, the 02 truck of Chris Wright is now out of the race, as well as the 26 of Chase Purdy. They're still trying to get Kligerman's truck repaired, and unfortunately that contact with the 11 truck of Spencer Davis has blown the radiator on Norm Benning's number 6 truck. Benning is out of the race and will finish in 27th position. He is certainly hoping for much better luck in the Daytona 500, which he is starting in the top 10 for on Sunday. Look at this 33 truck of Ryan Truex, currently running in 7th spot. Quite significant rear end damage. You can see that rear spoiler is knocked down just a little bit. They don't even have a bumper cover. Which in a way, all that might be a slight aerodynamic advantage, because that's less areas where wind can catch the body of the truck, because the rear end of the truck's not hanging down anymore because the bumper cover's gone. The spoiler's knocked down a little. That might streamline the 33 truck a little bit more, as long as they didn't hurt the fuel inlet. That might actually be an advantage for Truex. Pace truck is off into the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out for the final stage here at Daytona. 04 truck Roper jumped up to the outside line. That's going to be a bit of an advantage for Ty Dillon down on the bottom. Hosefar jumps up to the outside line to block Roper, but here comes that 31 truck of Dillon with a big run coming from the 2 truck of Sheldon Creed. Down the backstretch, the 31 back out front. Creed just barely taking a look down to the inside. Might be trying to abandon that 31 truck as now they move into the middle. Ty Gibbs trying to go 4 wide for the race lead. An incredible move by Gibbs, but can he make it work? Out of turn number 4. 4 wide for the top spot. The 18 truck on the bottom. The 42 up on the outside. At the line, it was Hosefar to lead. They make contact on the front stretch. Ty Gibbs looks like he's going to do it. Gibbs is now out front. Even with less trucks, there is no shortage of excitement here at Daytona. With now the 18 truck out front, moving up to the outside line. On the bottom, here comes the 15 of Tanner Gray. A lot of moving and shuffling outside the top 10. Still going 4 wide. Here comes Haley Deegan up into the top 5. The Germain trucks are right in the middle of that 4 wide mess. They've been pretty much the 2 fastest trucks all day. Now they form up to make the middle lane. On the inside, here comes the 46 of Chandler Smith up side by side with the 15. Smith currently has the advantage with a push coming from Haley Deegan into turn 1. Chandler Smith is your leader. Deegan up into second. We all know that Deegan's Ford has been extremely fast all weekend. In fact, she won heat number 2, getting in line with a Ford of Corey Roper in that race. Now Deegan up to the middle lane. Misaraka trying to make it work down on the bottom. That 58 truck has been fast as well, finished 3rd in heat 2. And the 58 truck for Lyra Motorsports is now out front. Down the inside line, here comes Scott Legassi Jr. At the stripe, it was Misaraka to lead the lap. Legassi with the push from Jordan Anderson. Now out front. Anderson trying to take up second. That's where he finished last year in this race. There goes Legassi up to block the outside line. Now gets put in the middle. Anderson down on the bottom, trying to make it work. 03 truck gets a bit of a push from the 1, trying to cut down in front of the field, but still can't do it. Barnhill shoving the 3 truck of Anderson out front. Jordan Anderson side by side with Legassi and Misaraka at the stripe. It was the 58 to lead the lap. Still trying to clear the field. Currently holding the advantage. But now 3 wide for the lead once again. The outside line can really build the momentum on the straights. But that inside line reels them right back in once they get into the high banks. Down the long backstretch, this might be the best advantage for the Fords. The 58 looks like she's going to clear the field. Misaraka is out front by about a car length above the 03 truck of Scott Lagasse Jr. Down to the start-finish line. Pretty clear advantage goes to the 58. In a way, that's not a good thing because the pack's going to get a huge run on that 58 truck. Remember that if we do not get a crash in this final stage, they will have to make at least one green flag pit stop, which would be the first time today that they've had to come down pit road under green, unless you count Enfinger, who ran the 98 truck out of gas. The 58 still trying to defend the lanes. Currently second place being taken up by the 03 truck of Scott Lagasse Jr. Misaraka trying to make a huge upset here at Daytona by winning in her debut. Down on the inside line, there you see the 03 truck still trying to build that run. Really doesn't have very many good pushers in line behind. Lap traffic is soon going to be a factor once we get late in the going of this green flag run. But that 58 truck has been strong all weekend, and exceptionally strong to pretty much tug the field along like this. Here comes the 03 truck of Lagasse trying to get up to the quarter panel. Exiting 4, he can't quite do it. Lagasse has the experience, but does he have the truck? Because right now, Misaraka has the truck, but not quite the experience. This is, in fact, her first super speedway start. But it's Lagasse's well over 100th, I would guess at this point. Side by side down the backstretch is Hailie Deegan and the 03 truck of Scott Lagasse Jr. The field now starting to single file out as that 58 truck has settled into a comfortable lead. There you see the 98 of Grant Enfinger up into this mess. Enfinger, however, is 2 laps down in 23rd spot because of when he ran out of gas much earlier in the race at the end of stage number 1 coming into stage 2. More or less, they're trying to turn laps at this point, get into your field number, and then go for the win after the pit stop. Hailie Deegan up into second, now challenging Misaraka for the race lead. Another very strong Ford. It looks like Deegan's going to take the top spot down the backstretch. I saw a lap truck up in front of the field. That is Jesse Little in the 97. Deegan gets pushed out front by Chandler Smith. Down the inside line. Second place now taken up by Jordan Anderson. Deegan up to the middle lane to block. Now down to the bottom. Barnhill trying to shove that 3 truck out front. Now the field has to deal with the lap truck of Jesse Little very, very soon. The 97's off the pace because that previous incident he was involved in coming off pit road with Norm Benning. Down the backstretch, where will the field go to avoid the 97? They're going to catch right up to him entering turn number 3. Down to the inside goes Smith. Look at the advantage he gets. The 1 truck gets blocked, as well as the entirety of the outside line. Barnhill up into third. A great slingshot maneuver by the 46 of Chandler Smith. Although having that big of a lead really is not going to help him. That 3 truck's going to be able to get a huge draft on the 46. Entering turn 1, you can tell that 3 truck's already built a huge run up to the tailgate of the 46, really with no contest down to the inside. On the bottom line, we have the 3 truck of Jordan Anderson being pushed by Carson Hocevar. Anderson now out front. Hocevar trying to make it work all the way on the bottom. At the line this time by, we're going to have just 15 laps to go. There's the 34 truck and 15 both down pit road. That checked up Anderson. And now the 46 truck back out front with a run on the outside line. A great shove from one Toyota to another. Enfinger giving the push to the 46 of Smith. Now Anderson dropping through the middle lane without help. Here comes the 42 truck of Hocevar. Down on the inside line with some drafting help from the 41 truck of Dawson Cram. Cram backing off. Possibly to get down pit road. 4 wide move by Ty Dillon. A little risky right there. Now most of the lead trucks hitting pit road. Hocevar and several others. Chandler Smith now out front. We saw in the Cup Series heat races, cars running out of gas. We could potentially get something very similar to that really soon if these few front runners try to extend it just a little bit too far, much like what Enfinger did, who is now getting one of his laps back much earlier in today's race. Down the backstretch, KBM going side by side for the top spot. The 18 truck of Ty Gibbs on the bottom, and the 46 of Chandler Smith up on the outside. The 98 truck of Grant Enfinger is now just 1 lap down. Here comes Gibbs coming down pit road. Along with him is Anderson and Truex. Chandler Smith and Brett Moffitt stay out on the racetrack. Got several trucks coming up off pit road. There you see Corey Roper. It makes you wonder, how long are these two front runners going to try and extend their fuel? Because they certainly have to be close. Enfinger tried to go just a little bit too far earlier on in today's race. How far will these two go? 45 truck appears to be sputtering. Down the backstretch, quickly losing pace. I believe Moffitt is almost running out of gas. 46 truck likely going to come down pit road this time by. Yes, he does. So now Smith and the 45 of Brett Moffitt onto pit road. Once the pit cycle concludes, this will be the battle for the race lead. Ty Dillon currently holding third spot above Ty Gibbs, who is coming off pit road. The pack is going to try to reform for what will pretty much be a 10-lap dash to the finish with the front runners. That 33 truck is a little bit slow back up onto the racetrack. Dillon is not going to have any drafting help, so he's going to be by himself as the leader. And now here comes the 46 and 45 trucks off pit road. Well, they are easily going to be passed by Dillon. Got to be careful right here with remerging. You can almost start a LePage-level incident. Ty Dillon up to second. Just has to get around Chandler Smith to move into the top spot. Looks like Moffitt didn't really block any of the leaders. Down the backstretch, Ty Dillon easily out to the race lead. Has that 46 truck, I don't even think has hit fourth gear as of yet. Here comes the pack. Trying to reform. Inside line. Possibly going to be stalled out. No, it's the middle lane that gets stalled by the 46. So now the pack has completely formed up once again. Ty Dillon is pretty much out by himself as the race leader. That's certainly going to hurt his chances of holding the race lead. Ty Gibbs up into second spot in the 18 truck. Here comes the pack with a huge run up to the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger. Lap traffic up in front of the field. I saw the 7 truck of Corbin Forrester up in front of these front runners. And keep in mind, that 98 truck is still 2 laps down. Enfinger moves off the bottom. And now the battle for the lead is back. The 18 truck all over the tailgate of the 31 of Ty Dillon. 10 laps to go at Daytona. Lap truck up in front of the field. Where will the front runners go? Here comes Gibbs down to the inside. They split Forrester. Ty Gibbs is now your race leader. Ty Dillon lost quite a bit of momentum trying to avoid the lap truck. Bryant Barnhill up into second, trying to perform an upset. Ryan Truex with a lot of damage on that 33 truck, going for second spot. Truex getting the push from the 60 truck of Casey Mears. Down the front stretch, the 33 truck holds second for just a moment. Here comes the 60 down on the bottom. Almost 4 wide racing. Casey Mears up into second spot once again. Gonna have a huge run on the 18 truck, exiting turn number 2. Mears side drafts the 18. Casey Mears is now back out front, the stage 1 winner. Germain has swept both stages, but can they get the final stage? Tanner Gray back up into the lead draft. Same with the 45 truck of Brett Moffitt. Now even more competitive trucks in contention for the race win. Sheldon Creed, the defending champion, on the inside of Ty Gibbs. Creed up to second. Now up to the outside line to work with the 60 truck for the moment. Mears pulls a block down to the inside line. Here comes a huge run from the 46. Chandler Smith getting some help from the 42 truck. Now here comes Hocevar to the bottom. Carson Hocevar, now your race leader. Remember that Enfinger is still 2 laps behind the leader, trying to get one of those laps back. 42 truck up to the outside line. 31 on the bottom. 3 wide move. Puts Enfinger, the lap truck, in the middle. And now, Ty Dillon is back out front. Here comes Tanner Gray down to the inside in the 15 truck. To the stripe. It was Dillon to lead the lap. Brett Moffitt all over the tailgate of that 15 truck of Tanner Gray. Gray is out front. We currently have 14 trucks in contention for the race win. Down the back stretch, here comes the 45 of Brett Moffitt to the inside of Tanner Gray. Cram, however, has different intentions of working with the 45 truck. Tried to make it 3 wide, but now has to cut back into the inside line. The 45 of Brett Moffitt, now out front. Moffitt has admitted that he might not be the best superspeedway racer, but understands how much it means to win here at Daytona. But at the stripe, it was Tanner Gray to lead the lap. On the inside line, the 41 truck of Dawson Cram trying to work with the 45 of Brett Moffitt. Ryan Truex still on the inside line with massive rear end damage, still keeping up with the pack. Down the backstretch, that extremely fast LGR Ford getting pushed by the 31 of Ty Dillon. Moffitt and Gray side by side. Cram trying to make it work on the bottom. Getting the push from the 33. Down the front stretch, 3 wide for the top spot. At the line, it is Brett Moffitt to lead by just a fender. Just 5 laps to go in the NextEra Energy 250. Cram still trying to make it work down on the bottom. Cram side by side with the 45 of Brett Moffitt and the 15 of Tanner Gray. Down the back stretch, it looks like the middle line might have the advantage. That 41 truck, not such a great leader. Inside line getting disorganized, as now the 45 truck back out front for the moment. Moffitt trying to clear the outside line. At the stripe, it is going to be Brett Moffitt once again to lead the lap. That inside line still trying to build the run. Quite a bit of momentum coming up off the outside line, that being Tanner Gray. And now here comes that 41 truck of Dawson Cram down on the inside line. What's really hurting the bottom lane is that 33 truck of Ryan Truex is the only pusher down on the inside. Now Brett Moffitt jumps up to the outside line, getting the push from the 15 of Tanner Gray. And he clears the field entering turn 3. Moffitt trying to defend pretty much every single lane at this point. 3-lane blocking. as now that 46 truck up into second spot, that being Chandler Smith. He cut up right in front of the 15 truck. Just 3 laps to go for Moffitt. Sheldon Creed trying to make it work through the middle. Creed now jumps down to the bottom. Side drafting that 45 truck, exiting turn number 2. The 18 truck of Ty Gibbs moves to the middle. Everyone trying to find a lane that will set them up with a chance at victory. Down the backstretch, the 2 and 45 side by side. Ty Gibbs giving the 2 truck a push. The outside line losing momentum. Sheldon Creed still out front. No lap traffic in sight. As Creed jumps up to the outside line, now back down to the bottom to block. Here comes the 60 truck of Casey Mears through the middle. A lot of momentum for that Germain Racing Chevrolet. Now down to the inside. Casey Mears clears the defending champion. Down the backstretch, has about a truck length separation above the second place runner Sheldon Creed. The inside line finally losing a lot of momentum down the backstretch. Hocevar into position. Carson Hocevar, who qualified in second place for today's race, now back up into second. Coming out of turn number 4. And there is the white flag for Casey Mears. Lap truck is in the way. Grant Enfinger down on the inside line. Here comes Ty Dillon. Germain Racing takes the top 2 spots. Dillon and Mears side by side. Who will get the advantage? Mears with some more drafting help, but Dillon's going to have the advantage of the inside line. Side by side. Out of turn number 4, teammates battling back to the start-finish line to win the NextEra Energy 250. Who's it going to be at the stripe? Mears has the push, and it's Casey Mears. Casey Mears has won the NextEra Energy 250 at Daytona International Speedway. Germain Racing was known for their wins at Daytona with Todd Bodine years ago, and now with 2 trucks in 2021, they finish first and second. Casey Mears, with his first win in a national division since, I believe, 2007, in his first Camping World Truck Series start, takes home the victory here at Daytona. An incredible finish between those 2 teammates. And this was the separation down to the start-finish line between the Germain Racing teammates. That's Casey Mears scoring the victory above the 31 truck of Ty Dillon. What a returning story for Germain Racing. And Casey Mears has done it, returning to NASCAR in the number 60 truck for Germain Racing, making his first career Camping World Truck Series start. Wins by 45 one-thousandths of a second above his teammate Ty Dillon. Carson Hocevar, the second-place qualifier, in third. Dawson Cram, fourth. Defending champion Sheldon Creed in fifth. Ryan Truex, with no rear bumper cover, finishes in sixth. Ty Gibbs, seventh. Spencer Davis, eighth. Tanner Gray in ninth. And Brett Moffitt rounding out the top 10. And even knowing it's only been one race, we might as well take a look at the points standings. Casey Mears, with 1 start, scores 1 win and led 10 laps. His teammate Ty Dillon led 5 laps, currently second in points. From there on out, it's more or less just the finishing positions, with Hocevar, Cram, Creed, Truex, Gibbs, Davis, Gray, and Brett Moffitt, your top 10. And take a look at your point standings. Casey Mears, obviously the only driver locked into the playoffs with that win. He is, in fact, declared for Truck Series points because he had no intentions of running any other series this season. He might need to think about running that 60 truck full-time. I know they have a couple Cup Series drivers scheduled for that truck. Might need to reconsider when you have Mears already locked into the playoffs. So Germain Racing holds the top 2 spots in the playoffs right now, with Mears' win and Ty Dillon's runner-up finish. Currently, the drivers right on the bubble line, even though it's only been one race, are Chandler Smith, Jordan Anderson, Barnhill, Deegan, Misaraka, and then on the outside looking in is Roper, Austin Wayne Self, Carroll, and Haley. And from all of us here at the Speed Station, we hope that you have enjoyed today's telecast of the NextEra Energy 250 from Daytona International Speedway. The next time you'll be seeing us is for the 63rd annual running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500.